several studies which have shown that severity of punishment is hardly a deterrent. What is deterrent is consistency.
In a quest for speedy justice, justice cannot be denied.
I think it's important that the government implements existing laws and ensures proper implementation of existing laws.
There are death penalties even for certain offenses now, but that doesn't mean that they have stopped. Now, the thing is this, that what happens is that whenever we speak of safety of women and security of women, every government wants to do its bit. So then the pitch goes very high, and the higher the pitch goes, they will say that, okay, then we will, have death penalty with a belief somewhere. That's also a very patriarchal notion. So what studies have shown, there are several studies which have shown that severity of punishment is hardly a deterrent. What is deterrent is consistency of punishment.
And with regards to children, if you just look at crime in India, it very clearly states that the majority of the accused are persons known to the child, including family members. So you can imagine the pressure upon the child when the child goes to court. Number of children who are forced to turn hostile because the pressure that comes from their family members. And now, when a person is going to be awarded death penalty and there is possibility of that, can you imagine the amount of pressure the child is going to undergo?
Consent means unequivocal consent from the woman by word or gesture. Now, what has happened is that what the Maharashtra government intends to do is add another explanation, which is implied consent. So they say that if there is an allegation of rape between two adults, okay, and the circumstances being such that a consent can be implied, then the court will presume that there is consent. So which means that there is a presumption of consent in certain cases. Now, what this does, for example, if there is a girl who's gone out on a Tinder date, okay, so she's gone on a Tinder date, she's met somebody, she meets him a couple of times, they may make out a little bit somewhere, and then he forces himself on her. And then if she says that he has raped me because it is against her consent, she may have given consent to him kissing her, but not necessarily for a penetrative sexual act, then there's a possibility that the court will say that the circumstances are such, because she's gone out with him, she's met him a few times, that the consent is implied. Then there is a double burden on her to prove that no, it was against my consent. So therefore it becomes near impossible.
There are a lot of layers to consent, and that is what had been recognized earlier with a lot of advocacy, where survivors, when we work with them, clearly there is this sense of manipulation, control, under threat, and there are a lot of aspects around it. So it cannot be as black and white in the way that they have now presented it and taken away from the entire concept itself of consent. So changing the definition is quite detrimental to the entire.
The time frame that the bill provides is very unreasonable. Within 15 days, you're supposed to finish your investigation. Within 1 month, you're supposed to finish your trial. And within 2 months, you finish your appeal, which is near impossible. With the kind of infrastructure that we have and with the kind of personnel in police or as well as in the judiciary, it's impossible to do this.
In a quest for speedy justice, justice cannot be denied. And while we are talking about the victim or the survivor, we also have to keep the accused in mind. The accused also has a right to a fair trial. Okay, let's forget the accused. But even with regards to a child, if the reports haven't come in, how are you going to talk about even getting justice to the child? And the defense is going to take advantage of all these loopholes. I mean, what tomorrow if the defense says that the trial is supposed to be completed within 15 days and it's not completed within 1 year? What are we going to do? Do we have the strength to say then he's going to be acquitted? There's much more you have to do outside of legislation. What are you doing to keep the children safe in the community? What are you doing with regards to protective measures? What are you doing to enhance the family's capabilities? Okay. What are you doing with regards to street lighting? What are you doing with regards to amenities given to children? What are you doing to make the mother of the child feel safe enough to take her child to the police station and not feel hesitant about the criminal justice?
I think it's important that the government implements existing laws and ensures proper implementation of existing laws rather than going about making these changes which are more like knee-jerk reactions and don't really serve a purpose and are definitely not in the interest of either women or child rights.